Is the Phoenix Suns championship window closing? That's what we're going to be talking about today, guys. Chris Paul will turn 38 years old this season, and it makes me wonder, it just makes me ask the question, is the championship window closing? Or with re-signing DeAndre Ayton and other young pieces growing and getting better, is the window just opening? Before we get into this video, guys, just let me know down below in the comments what you think, because seriously, this question has a million different answers. So it's no secret that the Suns don't have the best track record when it comes to finishing the job, I guess, so to speak, in the playoffs. Obviously, we remember they were up 2-0 on the Bucks, and then they sold. You know, once they beat the Lakers that year, I think a lot of people thought that, hey, the Suns, you know, they proved their worth, they're gonna get here. But then they go on and lose to the Bucks, like I just mentioned, and then obviously the year following, they somehow come out and manage to win, I think it was 65 games, and absolutely shock and stunt a lot of people, because a lot of people were saying, oh, Chris Paul, he's getting too old for this, yada yada yada. The Suns aren't going to do even what they did close to last year, and then they went and did it better, but they did not do it better in the playoffs, obviously, as they choked away in the series against Dallas. I mean, words can only describe the failure and the feeling that I think a lot of Phoenix Suns fans face, but I digress. Like I said, I see a lot of pros for this team and only one real con, and that's Chris Paul's age. As of this time next year, he'll be 38 years old. May, to be specific, is when he'll turn 38 years old, and that's, you know, right around playoff time. It makes you wonder, what does a 38-year-old Chris Paul do for us, the Phoenix Suns, right now? It's worth mentioning that someone of Chris's caliber, you know, a player with that much basketball knowledge, age doubles as wisdom. I mean, they don't call him the point guard for no reason. He truly is a player coach, and I still think that come playoff time, he can create and be not that guy, but he can be one of the guys on the Phoenix Suns. And that's where you hope that Booker can just take over the offense entirely, or someone even like Mikal Bridges getting hot, or you would hope that DeAndre Ayton can fully step into that role of solidifying himself and being the big, not just the double-double, but the double-double with purpose. Like, I feel like there's a lot of games where DeAndre has almost Bam tendencies, where if you're someone who watches Miami Heat basketball, you understand what I'm saying, where it's like this guy possesses every single capability to be a top 5 power forward or center, depending on if you're talking about Bam or DeAndre. Regardless, he has the skill set, he has the bag, but he just, for some reason, is missing that last little push, that last little edge. And I think having Chris Paul in the locker room makes Ayton that much better of a player. You see these guys like Bismack Biyombo that are coming in, and in their 10 years beforehand in Charlotte, Bismack Biyombo, he was looking like his career was ending. And then somehow you bring a guy like him or JaVale McGee, which granted, JaVale's a lot better than Bismack. But you see my point. You bring these guys in, and Chris can make them lob threats. He can make them useful. There used to be a whole thing about how Chris Paul turns centers into the best players or all-stars. I digress. Chris is just an amazing talent. Obviously, a lot of the players on the Suns are buying into Chris, and with his age, it just makes me wonder, is there a definitive leader when Chris is gone? Can Devin or Ayton step, or both of them, you would hope, step into that kind of going from a big three to a Shaq and Kobe, you know, a 1-2 punch. And that's not to say that they don't have other talented people on the roster. Mikal Bridges could make a run at Defensive Player of the Year this year. Honestly, I think he had a wonderful case for it last year. Mikal is a wonderful third option. If you could have him scoring around 18 points a game, that would be amazing. 18 points, playing that amazing defense, grabbing 6, 7, 8 rebounds a night. Mikal is the perfect third option on a championship contending team. Someone who can space the floor and play defense. Another guy who's been stepping into this role is Cam Johnson. I feel like the Suns are going to look for him to take another little bit of a leap. I think ever since that game winner last year he had, I know it was a bank shot, but I think ever since then, people have started to, I mean, and rightfully so, once he gets a little more media attention, people have started to just give a little more credit towards Cam Johnson. And I think the attributes that Cam Johnson's getting better at, a lot of that is a testament to other guys in these locker rooms like Dario Saric or Jay Crowder. You know, these guys are people who are bona fide brilliant at what they do in their role. Jay Crowder will never be an all-star type of player, but he's an all-star at being a role player, if you know what I mean. Like, these are the types of guys where, granted, Jay will definitely chuck up a few air balls. Sometimes he'll hit the side of the backboard, and he's goofy in that Pat Beverly sense. But it's like, those are the guys that you want on your team. You never want to be facing someone as scrappy or someone who has that dog in him like Jay does. And the same goes for Dario Saric. While he might not have that quote-unquote dog per se, if you've seen Dario Saric hoop, you know. He almost has that like Nemanja Bjelica vibe where it's like, you just have to watch him operate in the system to understand the actual greatness that he has. I also think someone like Josh Okogie, who they just picked up, could have a breakout year as if he continues to work with guys, like I said, Jay Crowder and Dario Saric. The thing about the direction of the Suns is just that the reason this scenario is very, very confusing, the whole Suns ordeal, is just because, like I said, Chris is their leader, but at the same time, Monty Williams is such a great coach. But I think that great coaching and a lot of the people buying in around him is also a testament to CP, because obviously I'm sure some of you guys know that this is not the first time Monty Williams has coached Chris Paul. And people are believing and starting to, give Monty his flowers, and respectfully so. So I don't know if the transition of Chris being this vocal leader in practice one day to the next, the next day he's not even there, and then they're solely fighting for Monty. I'm sure everyone in Phoenix loves Monty, but at the same time, sometimes there's just a big traditional growing period, or growing pains, I guess I would say, when someone of Chris's caliber with his vocal leading on and off the court isn't there. Like, when you have a bad loss, you look for a guy like CP to point you in the right direction. And if Phoenix can't have Booker step into that role, then I don't know what to say. It's not that I don't think Booker, Bridges, and Ayton can't win anything if they were to lose this year and then CP retires next year or what have you, but I'm just saying the West is such a competitive place, and you need someone who's a definitive leader, someone who's a winner. I know Chris Paul doesn't have historical resume success as far as championship and postseason success, but I mean, look at this graphic I'm about to put up on the screen right now. He not only made the Clippers, but the Rockets, Thunder, and Suns all winning teams almost immediately after arriving. And not to mention, if Chris never played on the New Orleans Hornets when they were still called them, I've made a joke about this in one of my old videos, they probably wouldn't have even sold any tickets. Now, it looks like the 5 they're going to run with this year is CP, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay at the 4, and then DeAndre Ayton at the 5. So, I don't know, guys. I personally do think in my heart that this Suns team is capable of winning. It's just a matter of fact of, can they make a damn shot? I mean, that seems like it's been the case for any team Chris Paul's been. I mean, they're always so well constructed. They're so well orchestrated. But the problem is, for some reason, come playoff time, they cannot buy a bucket. So let me know again what you guys think in the comments below. Can this team with CP win the championship this year? Or are we going to be looking more for the future of the Phoenix Suns? Are we going to be looking more for DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker a few years down the line when they're a little bit better? Are they going to be the ones to lead the Phoenix Suns to a championship? So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Can the Suns win the championship this year in 2023, 2022, whatever you want to call it? Or are we going to have to wait and see for when Chris is out and they possibly slot someone new in at point guard? Or we see Booker and Ayton take that Shaq and Kobe step where they're just a power duo. And I'm not forgetting about Mikal Bridges either. You guys know I got nothing but respect for him. If you guys like this video, please leave it a like down below and subscribe if you're new. Be sure to check out any of my other videos and leave your guys' NBA opinions in the comments below. You know I love to read them and respond to them. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. Peace.